What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my pickups video for the month of May 2023. I will kick this off by saying this is probably going to be a pretty disappointing pickups video for the reason that I did not have a lot of time to spend game hunting or game playing this month. Those of you that know that I like old German cars, I have a 1988 Porsche 928 S4, and I have been working on it intensively over the last month and also buying a lot of parts for it. So once the car is back together, I do believe it's going to be excellent, but what it has done is it has been sucking my wallet like a complete vacuum. Who knew that an old Porsche would be expensive? I'm sure that's pretty obvious, but it has definitely taken a hindrance to my time for game hunting and also my game budget. So let's be real and just talk about the few things that I did get this month as a result, and hopefully I'll have a car video for you in the next month or so once it's all back on the road. But honestly, just been working on that so intensely over the last few weekends. I haven't even done a lot of shopping online for games or anything to that extent, so hopefully we'll get back to it soon. But I did get one new game this month that I'm excited about, and this is one that I'd been waiting for quite a while. I kept thinking that the price was going to drop on this extensively, as most fighting games do, and it just never really did. But I decided to go ahead and grab it before it's too late, and that is the Capcom Fighting Collection for PS4. Pretty excited to get this. It is, a mix of Capcom's classic 90s fighters. What's kind of interesting is I think there's 10 games included, and 5 of them are Darkstalkers related games. So if you're really into the Vampire or Darkstalkers series, this is definitely your jam. But of course it has all the classic Capcom art style, and you get like all the art books and drawings and things like that included as bonuses in the game, which is pretty cool to look at. And then you have several other fighters that are included in the series as well, but the most notable in this collection is Warzard, I don't know how you say that, Warzard? Z-A-R-D, let's go with that. Or the world title Red Earth, maybe that's a little bit easier to say. Definitely a very cool fighting game that I had played in the arcade, but it's very obscure, and it had never made a home release until this pack came out last year, or maybe it was the year before. So very uncommon to find that game, and I just think it's a really interesting concept that Capcom never took any further than the game. It was on the CPS-3 hardware, which was definitely much less popular than the CPS-2 hardware that they put just about everything on. But it is really a well-refined fighting game, and has some interesting characters in it, and they definitely put some cool features in it, like it had a password system for the arcade, which is pretty unusual, but knowing that you could level up your characters if you spent a lot of money at the arcade playing the game, clearly you'd want to save your progress. So very happy that game's included, enjoying playing that. And then of course you have Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, you gotta have a puzzle game mixed in here as well. A game I've put countless hours into the Saturn and PS1 version, so it's kind of nice to have the true arcade version included in this collection as well. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a huge whore for buying these arcade compilations. I've got tons of them for lots of platforms, and I just really like when they're well done like this one is. It's got a good front end to it, it's easy to navigate the menus. You can play all the Japanese and world versions of the games as well, which is really a nice feature that not all these have. And then it has your standard speed up, slow down, invincibility type crap that most of these collections have now. The other thing I'll say about it, though, is it came with download codes for the Capcom, what do they call it? Capcom Arcade Stadium collection, which is really just like a Trojan horse. It gave you a code for the arcade game 3 Wonders, or Wonder 3, and I have that on several systems already and several other compilations, but once you download the code for that, it takes you into the Arcade Stadium front end, which is a whole separate, design for all the other Capcom classic games that you can play. And it's really like visiting an arcade. You sit down at like Japanese-style cabinets and you play the different games based on that. But why I'd say it's a Trojan horse is that you only get the one code for the one game, and then it invites you to download all the, 20 or 30 other games. For, luckily, the low price of about 99 cents each on the PlayStation Store at this time, but may go up in the future. Most of those games I already have on other Capcom packs, so I'm definitely not going to collect the whole set, but I did see a few interesting ones that I hadn't ever heard of or played before, and one that I was trying out is a game, I'm sure I'm going to butcher the title of this too, it's like Nicknees with a P at the beginning, but I'm assuming the P is silent. Panicknees. And it was developed by Compile, and it's a drop puzzle game, much like Puyo Puyo. but with a nice twist to it that makes it a little bit more difficult. So actually enjoying playing that, and I think it was worth my 99-cent download. But really it begs the question that if they have all this baked out, why don't they just make a compilation disc with all of those games on it, and I would surely buy it too, because I buy all these arcade collections. But enough said about this. I think it's well worth getting, and, you know, it's not the full $40 anymore, at least in most places, so if you were waiting like me for a price drop, you can go ahead and grab this. It has a couple other games on it too, I'll just mention. It has Cyberbots, which, meh, I've played it before. It has Gem Fighter, which is the super deformed characters like Puzzle Fighter, but not that good. It's just it's actually a fighting game, not a puzzle game. And then you do get a Street Fighter 2, Hyper Street Fighter 2 included in the pack as well. So if you don't have enough Capcom fighting games in your life, this is definitely one to get. I'm really hoping they'll make a Volume 2 of this, because then they would include Rival Schools, assumedly, which is one of my favorite Capcom fighting games of all time. So I would love to see that expanded with like the arcade version and some of the artwork and all that kind of stuff that maybe the PS1 version didn't have. That would be really nice to see if this game sold well. So cross my fingers for that. So why I talked quite a bit about that game is that's actually the only game I got this month. I know, like I said, it's pretty sad what my collecting happened this month. It was very off my normal. But I did get one other gaming-related thing. I got some magazines, and so I thought I would show these as well. These I found locally, and this is a PlayStation PS1 era magazine that kind of flies under the radar. I think most people know the official PlayStation magazine, and then also PSM, which was the independent PlayStation magazine that were both pretty popular during that era, but very exclusive to the PS1 as far as what they covered. But there also was this magazine, and I don't really think these were distributed very well. It's called PS Extreme. I do have a few of these from back in the day that I did buy off the newsstand, but I never subscribed to it. And I don't know if I really like it or not. I went back in retrospect and read these, and I was like, yeah, I mean, these are okay, but they didn't really have their own voice that would make these stand out from some of the other PS1 magazines that were on the market. I did kind of like their rating system. They rated all games on like a 0 to 100% rating scale, and then every game got like a trophy or plaque that represented the level that they liked it, whether it was like, you know, platinum or gold or silver or even tin if it sucked. So that was kind of a little bit different than how other, you know, magazines rated their games. But this one is from 1998. Actually, I think all these are from 1998. I think the magazine only lasted till maybe 99. It really didn't last too much beyond this. And this is a Batman and Robin cover, which is kind of a unique cover because this game wasn't really a big deal for PS1. But it has some nice artwork on it. And then the next one I got, these are actually all in order, so I must have got like a portion of somebody's subscription. This is for War Games, kind of more of the same. The magazines are also kind of thin, I'll say that too. Like, I think, you know, if you bought the other PlayStation magazines, you got a little more content for your money. But this one was okay. And then the other thing I'll say about these is they did a pretty nice job of reviewing accessories, including some of the really bogus ones that came out for PS1, and they had some pretty funny commentary on those, so I'll give them some credit for that. The last one of these is for Road Trip, and I'm not familiar with this artwork that they put on the cover, so I don't know if this was something they commissioned specifically for the magazine, or if it's just, you know, like a manual artwork or something like that, but it wasn't on the cover of the game or anything like that. But, you know, really just had more of the games of the PS1 era from the 1998, nothing too exceptional. And I can see why this magazine passed away probably not too long after these issues were made, but, you know, if I found some more of these locally, I would probably grab them. I'm not sure I'm going to go complete a set of these or anything like that, but nice to have more game magazines, especially of that PS1 era that I like so much. So, like I said, that's really it. Pretty light month. I do have a con that I'm planning on going to in June if all things stars align and things like that. So hopefully I'll have some more interesting stuff to show you at the end of next month. But thank you very much for watching. Please take a moment, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. And I will talk to you soon. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.